Manchester City 2 at St James's. For more on this, Frank Leboeuf is with us. Frank, it's all about taking your chances, isn't it?
Exactly, and we signed Voldemade will have a bad night because sometimes you don't need to control a ball to shoot it. One touch is more than enough, and it's what Visa should have done on the first chance that he had, and Voldemade as well. And they didn't, and City were more clinical than Newcastle. And as Craig said, it's already dead for me.
Visa was, that first chance he had, I think with Shaq and I we said, I think we both went, I think Voldemade would have put that away, and then he came on and stumbled over his. I think that was the kind of summed up the evening for Newcastle. I mean, James Trafford had to make that save. You saw on the clip, there's a couple of other really good balls in the second half from Newcastle. Voldemade couldn't get on the end of it, but I think City deserved it. Semenya, great start to his City career. Thought he had two, but he got one. We can, I think that's a big debating point, this whole VAR thing. Doku on the other side gave Lewis Miley a hard time, particularly in the first half, the first 20 minutes. He's not a fullback, and he roasted them every time. So they have all these options going forward. I know they have the problems at the back, but all these options they've got going forward now with,
So does Semenyo start against United the weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what he does with Doku, I don't know, but, you've got Doku on one side, pacey and quick. You've got Semenyo, pacey and quick, very good in the final third. Has got 2 goals already for City, although one was against Exeter, but getting in the right place at the right time. And I think Semenyo does play. O'Reilly played in midfield tonight and did a good job. Obviously, that's his natural position. So Rodri will come back in there. He came off the bench. He'll come back in there. Not sure how the back four will look.
Do you think that front five is the front five for the United game?
I think it could be. You know that? Well, actually,
no Reinders, no Shirky.
Actually, what about Shirky?
I think Shirky.
All right, Frank, I said that.
No, listen, we're off the cuff here. It's live TV.
Too late.
I think Shirky will come in, but come in for who remains to be seen. I mean, does he leave Doku out and sort of shovel somebody out there or move Semenyo across? Or does he leave Phil Foden out, who hasn't been the worst? I think he'll play Bernardo Silva in these big games. He generally always does. But I think one of those guys in the front line will probably sit aside for Ryan Shirky because he's been very, as I mentioned in the highlight, first 6 months of the season, very good.
Left after me, I'd play the 2 wide men in Semenyo and Doku. I just feel the pace that they bring from both sides, unsettled teams, and unsettled Newcastle, and albeit young Miley on the day, but I just feel that's where they look their best. And then you have genuine options through the middle, whether you go with Foden and Bernardo Silva as you do today, you've got Reinders, you've got Cherky, it could be one.
What would you do, Shaq?
I'd play...
Don't say Cherky, just to annoy him.
Do what?
Don't say Cherky, just to annoy him.
I'd play Foden and anybody else in that case. But to Craig's point, I'd prefer Cherky over Bernardo Silva, if it were me.
But I think Bernardo Silva's more of an all-round guy. He plays that role, but he also goes back and he helps out. It'll be Rodri that'll play in that position. He goes back and he does these other duties, picking up the ball, getting in the full-back positions, taking it off centre-halves, and then appearing in the final third. Even at his age, he's still doing that. Ryan Cherky's more... I think it'll be, for me, it'll be Foden or Cherky. I think for the reasons that Bernardo Silva covers more ground. To go back to your wide players, though, think about United. I mean, there'll probably be a back four at the weekend. This back three, I would imagine, from Amorim's going to get decimated. And Mark Ogden's favourite player, Diego Dallo, if he plays. Doku will be licking his lips because Dallo's not playing well. If it's Dorgu on the other side or Shaw, I don't know if he's back available or whatever. But on that side, Semenyo, and they can really pin those United fullbacks back because they've been really weak in that position this season.
Last word to you, Frank. Of course, we've got plenty of time to look ahead to the United City game.
Well, why'd you bring it up?
Well, because it was the only interesting thing I could think of after this game. Frank?
What again? What?
No.
Chelsea taking on Arsenal tomorrow. This is everybody's predictions. Looking ahead to that game.
If he's not prepared to listen,
No, I was listening, but I didn't hear the beginning of the sentence. I didn't hear the beginning of the sentence. It was modelling, so
sorry.
I'm
I will enunciate better for you,
6,000 miles away.
Please do.
Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry, it wasn't very interesting.
Yeah, thank you very
Chelsea
much.
against Arsenal. That's the first leg tomorrow. Here's everybody's predictions for that tie. Rosinha, of course, in charge. Do we have everyone's predictions? There they are. Everyone thinks Arsenal are going to win, apart from Xhaka, who's going for a draw.
Yeah.
There you go. It's taken out. It's the front page of Sport. Of
You
course,
had no idea, did you?
Which one? I know exactly what that is.
Fulminado.
U-turn by Fiorentina as Alvaro Arbeloa comes in and is officially the man to take over from Xabi Alonso. He faced the press today and spoke about the team.
Bueno, yo creo que todos hemos visto los últimos partidos y la temporada y cómo se esforzaron el otro día en la final de la Supercopa. Creo que tenemos no solo una gran plantilla, sino un equipo de chicos dispuestos a todo, sabiendo cuál es la exigencia del Real Madrid. Que no se nos olvide tampoco que aquí hay jugadores que tienen 6 Copas de Europa, que muchos de ellos han sido campeones ya con el Real Madrid, que parece que esto se olvida pronto y ganar con este escudo solo lo puedes hacer a base de esos valores que tú nombras, ¿no? A base de esfuerzo, a base de sacrificio, a base de constancia.
For more on this, let's welcome in Frank Leboeuf still with us, and Sid Lowe, who has marked the departure of Xabi Alonso by getting rid of his horrible beard. So at least that's one positive for Real Madrid.
And his glasses from yesterday.
Sid, what's the point?
Hang on, I thought the glasses were supposed to make me look clever.
No,
I can put them back on if you want.
Rosinha, that's the only reason he got hired,
Okay.
they say. Anyway, right. Serious stuff, Sid. What's the point? If they're not going to listen to Xabi Alonso, they're not going to listen to Carlo Ancelotti, why is this squad going to listen to Alvaro Arbeloa, who hasn't got anywhere near as much experience as those two?
I suppose part of the answer to that is how much do they need to listen to him? Will his message get through to them better? Will he connect with them better? Will he ask different things of them that they're more inclined to listen to? Because you just said then, you know, they didn't listen to Xabi Alonso and they didn't listen to Carlo Ancelotti. Now, it's true that the final season of Ancelotti didn't work very well, but his previous seasons were pretty good, where he was twice European champion, or in fact 3 times if you add the 2 different spells together. So I think that's part of it. It's about a connection with them. And also, you know, these kind of decisions don't always need to be seen purely in footballing terms, but also partly in political terms, in terms of the sense of the relationship and also the sense of where it's going now. And of course, with Xabi Alonso, I think the club, or certainly the president, felt that this wasn't progressing.
What? What do you think?
Well, I think it just brings another level of intrigue to our La Liga coverage because, you know, Barcelona have been a great talking point. They've had great success under Hansi Flick, but they give us a story every week with this sort of bonkers high line and really entertaining football. And we thought we were going to get some great story, which we have in a negative way with Real Madrid, but we thought we were going to get this, and Sid touched on it yesterday, was this whole change of structure, which we thought we were going to get, but in hindsight was probably a bridge too far. The intriguing thing now is, as we sit back and watch the title race every weekend, is what's the aesthetics of Real Madrid? Is Arbeloa going to be able to make a difference? Are these players, some of them, not all by the way, are some of them going to change? Are some of them going to listen? Are some of them going to grow up? There's no stone's been thrown at the likes of Kylian and Mbappe. He's pulled his weight. But there are quite a few, some have been injured, but there are some who have not and who have been very problematic. Some more public than others. And I think that's going to be the intrigue now. Is Arbeloa going to get that tune out of this team and everybody's on harmony? Or are we going to sit and watch them every weekend and go, this is just the same. Yeah. This is the same. They'll press when they want to press. They'll run about when they want to run about, and they'll try and flick a switch and turn it on. That's going to be the real intrigue for me watching Real Madrid going forward, what the difference Arbeloa can make. Because that was the interest for me with Xabi Alonso. What can he do that Ancelotti, and Sid's right, Ancelotti was great, but not in the last season. And what could Xabi Alonso do to make this big difference? And we all sat back and go, come on, this is going to be fun. And it just wasn't. And I hope for Arbeloa, it is going to be at least fun for him.
How's he going to make them on harmony, or in harmony, as the rest of us would say?
I think Arbeloa's first task or first need is to be a man manager, which oddly, I think where Xabi Alonso went wrong. You never would have thought that Xabi Alonso, given certainly his playing career...
But can you see my point? If I'm Vini or one of these players who refuse to defend or refuse to track back, if I've got Arbeloa telling me to do that, why am I listening to him, especially when I know he's only temporary?
I take your point absolutely, but to Sid's point, there's so many layers to this. One, World Cup to come, and you don't know what's going to happen immediately before or after in terms of manager availability. There was this dynamic between Vinicius and Xabi Alonso, where Vinicius is refusing to sign a contract unless he was out of the picture. So there was so much for Florentino Perez to consider, not just from a footballing perspective, but from a running a football club's perspective. And so he felt the best thing to do was at least try to button that up with Vinicius Jr., and then you figure out what the next steps are in terms of who comes in and who's the longer-term replacement.
No, he hasn't, unless I've missed something, he hasn't agreed this new contract yet, has he?
Vinny, no.
Right, so he's got what he wanted, right? He's realistically got what he wanted, which is Alonso out. Now, he is bright enough, it should be, to know that if he continues in the same vein under Arbeloa, he isn't in a very strong bargaining position, or as strong as he would want to be, for getting the dosh, and that's what it's all about for him. It's getting the money, it's getting the big payday, it's being one of the top guys. Continuous poor performances and bad attitude and inconsistency isn't going to get that for him. Now, I think part of that was down to the fact that Alonso was there and they were butting heads. But he's got what he wanted now. So I think we'll see a different Vinicius Jr. And I'm not saying for 1 minute that's right. I am not. But I think the way the cards have sort of folded for him and Alonso, he's been holding the ace. But to continue holding the ace with Florentino Perez for his contract, he's got to show that he's willing to perform. So I think, right or wrong, we may see a more productive and energetic Vinicius Jr. in the second half of the season.
OK, well, inevitably, Alvaro Arbeloa was asked about Vinicius Jr. and inevitably, Arbeloa said all the right things.
Tengo una suerte enorme de contar con Vinicius Jr., que creo que es uno de los futbolistas más desequilibrantes del mundo, un futbolista querido por toda la afición, que, bueno, todo el mundo vio el partido que hizo el pasado domingo y ese es el Vini que queremos ver, ¿no? Un Vini que sonríe, que disfruta, que baila, que juega, que es capaz de desequilibrar un clásico y de marcar diferencias. Así que eso es lo único que me preocupa y que quiero ver ahora mismo en Vini.
Sid, I'm intrigued what the fans are saying about all of this.
Well, let's pick up on that Arbeloa quote when he says he wants to see a Vinicius that smiles, that enjoys it and that dances. He doesn't say, I want to see a Vinicius that tracks back, that works hard, that runs, that breaks his balls for the team. He doesn't say that. And I think that's quite significant because, of course, the fans have been frustrated with the level of his performance, obviously. So if it continues to be poor, with a change of manager, I think there will be that sense, and you know, Craig was talking about it just then, Vinicius has got what he wants. It's not necessarily about Vinicius, it's just that perception from the fans, you've got what you wanted now, you've got nowhere to hide anymore.
If I can have a word on Real Madrid, you know, I thought with Paris Saint-Germain, a couple of years ago, we had the example of what not to do. And with all the coaches that they had, it never worked because the players were doing what they wanted. I thought, you know, it was a lesson for the world of football. It doesn't seem to be for Real Madrid because that's what they are going through right now.
We've got to stop all this, haven't we? I mean, they're getting walloped. They're not playing well. Sid mentioned it. The fans are whistling. We've seen some really poor performances, home and away this season. Sometimes the results have been there, but the performances, the eye test, looking at the way they've played has been pretty bad. As I said the other day in the show, you could count. You're lucky to be able to count in one hand the performances this season, certainly in the league, that you went, well, that was good.
Yep.
Maybe 2 or 3 at most. And here they've just been beaten again by their biggest rivals in this cup final. I mean, Frank's right. We have to, you know, the last thing in a player's mind, and I think Xabi Alonso here, you know, it's just a manager who thinks he's doing the right thing.
Okay.
He thinks he's doing the right thing to be to give respect to
So I
Hansi
suppose from the
Flick.
outside looking in, I'm just thinking, what if Carlo Ancelotti had asked them to do that? Would they have turned their back on him as well? Or
I think there's every chance, because
is,
at that
is
point,
that just a complete lack of respect we're seeing?
Well, I think that ship has sailed with Alonso, to be honest. I don't know with Ancelotti. I think
as a player though, if you had a manager.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that for any team. I'm not.
Here's my question. As a player, I don't know of teams doing guards of honours for a cup final like this.
Right.
Xabi Alonso lost, the Europa League final?
Yep.
Does anybody remember Leverkusen doing guard of honour then? I just find it...
Barcelona did do it for Real Madrid when they won the Supercopa.
Oh,
well... When they've done it before.
I find it odd. I find it odd.
When I was at Celtic giving Rangers a guard of honour, they'd have killed us.
I
tell you, the windows in our houses, the players' houses, would have been bricks thrown at them.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to stop. This is a kind of social media-driven thing now. Oh, it's got to be respect. This is a sport. This is a contest. This is a business. This is a livelihood. Managers are getting sacked. You know, Amorim gone, wasn't good enough. Xabi Alonso deemed not good enough. The list is endless. This is big boy stuff. This isn't let's be respectful. You know, let's just roll the sleeves up. Let's go and get stuck in. They're the enemy for the day. Mm-hmm. Right, I might go for a beer with them behind the scenes back in Spain. That's okay. You can have mates in the opposing teams. That's fine. But during that few hours of a match day, Shaq, you're playing for your team, and I'm playing for mine.
I find it really odd. Really, really odd.
Sid, Frank mentioned, obviously, Kylian Mbappe and what happened at PSG. Real Madrid were fine, weren't they, till he came along?
It's a slightly facile conclusion to come to, but I think it's a natural one for people to come to. And of course, one of the things that really underlined this was what happened in the summer. So you have this situation in which Paris Saint-Germain have won it all. They face Real Madrid in the Club World Cup, in which Real Madrid won 3 games in a row. Kylian Mbappe comes back for the first time, and they beat them 4-0. And at that point, I include myself, by the way, at that point, lots of us picked up on that very famous clip of Luis Enrique talking to Kylian Mbappe and basically saying, if you don't track back, this is disastrous. Trying to get through to him and not finding a way. Now, it is a bit simplistic. It is a bit reductionist. And, of course, Kylian Mbappe has scored 29 goals this season. But it's true that that's something that people are starting to focus on now. People are starting to focus on the manager that came and went at PSG, the teammates that came and went at PSG, the failure to win the European Cup at PSG, and now the fact that he joins a European Cup winning team that then doesn't win the European Cup and the team he's just left does. Now, again, it's a bit easy, but it's very, very tempting to go down that route. Of course it is.
If in doubt, blame the Frenchman, Frank.
Well, you know when I was talking about that, I wasn't only blaming Kylian Mbappe. I was blaming the system and the fact that Paris Saint-Germain board allowed the players to deal. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, and others. They were doing what they wanted. That's what I was aiming really, and that's what I see with Real Madrid, where clearly the players, they do what they want with Ancelotti, with Alonso, and supposedly they're going to do the same with Arbeloa. I have no doubt about that. And you have to change maybe the individuals, but mostly the spirit of it. So I don't want to talk about Frenchmen or whatever. I was to talk about the togetherness of the people who don't work together, and who don't, of course, for some of them don't track back, like Vini, like him. But like it was in Paris Saint-Germain with Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe again. So they have to deal with that. Who is guilty? I think first the board is guilty. The system around the board is guilty. The coach is guilty. And the players are guilty. So everybody is, and somebody has to find the right way to create a chemistry and a hierarchy.
Well, France have done it. Mm-hmm. And that would be the argument. You know, PSG, the dynamics wasn't right. The dynamic at Real Madrid at the moment isn't right. And I don't agree with what Deschamps has done with France. But Deschamps has accepted, and if you talk to Julian Laurens or Frank, he's accepted whether we think it's right or not, and I don't. I don't think it's right that Mbappe does what he wants for France, but that's how it is. And he has to build this French team around him to make sure others are doing the dirty work. And it's been somewhat successful. They won a World Cup in 2018. They could have won one again in 2022. They're probably one of the favourites, along with Spain, to win in North America. But they've accepted, with Mbappe in the team, that they have to get the balance right in other positions. The problem at Real Madrid, it's not just Kylian Mbappe. And so, therefore, the dynamic and the balance is not right, because when you've got at least one more and maybe two who are looking at the Frenchman and going, yeah, I've been a bit like that myself for a couple of years, I think I'll just join in. Then that's a problem elsewhere. You can maybe carry one player, a superstar. If you look at Argentina, for example, winning the World Cup, they were not the greatest side. Messi was a luxury that Scaloni knew he had to get all these people around them that were just good footballers, but working their socks off. And that was getting the balance right. And that's what Real Madrid and Arbeloa are going to have to do.
Alex brought this up, of course, on yesterday's show. The majority of the Real Madrid players took to social media to show their support Xabi Alonso, to wish him good luck in the future. Jude Bellingham was one of those who didn't. He addressed that today, going, until now, I've let far too many of these slide about always hoping the truth will come out to light in its own time. But honestly, let me say, what a load of poo. Truly feel sorry for the people that hang on to every word of these clowns and their sources. Do not believe everything you read. That was in reference to, obviously, the fact that they picked up that he didn't go onto social media, he didn't thank Xabi Alonso, rumours that he didn't like the way the Spaniard was running the club, said. It's a weird world, isn't it? Because you can be as disingenuous as you like. Take the social media. God, when I had my liver transplant, I had people coming out saying they love me, I'd know cross the road if they saw me coming. It doesn't count, really. It's not real life, is it?
And that's precisely the reason why you put the social media tweets out there, Dan, was because you wanted all these people to tell you how much they loved you, even if deep down you knew that they did not.
But thanks for your love, Sid. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all these clowns that Bellingham's talking about, that's us, right?
Yep.
That is us. We're the bad guys in all of this.
Yeah.
Now, for what it's worth, I should make this very, very clear at this point. Bellingham has put a tweet out now. And it actually made me think, the fact that we were kind of counting these players, ticking them off as they said something. Imagine you're one of the 3 or 4 or the 5 or 6 left who hasn't done it. And you see everyone go, oh, look, here's the list of the bad guys. You go, maybe I should put a tweet out. I didn't much like Alonso, but probably time I did.
Yeah. It's like a card going around the office. You've got a sign to say happy birthday, even though you hate them, Shaq.
You've got all kinds of issues here. Just kind of come to...
Has Craig got a card at home?
If everyone has signed the card and you haven't...
Hope your liver tries to...
Oh, you must hate this, Burnley. This is right on the street.
Well, a few managers I felt sorry for when they went, but at the end of the day, it's just, it's the world we live in now, isn't it, where everybody's looking to see who's responding to the recent sacking. Well, if he doesn't respond, he doesn't like him, and he's falling out with him, and that's just the world we live in. I wouldn't get involved in any of that stuff. Not interested.
No, it's like buying everyone a present for Christmas apart from one person, Shaggy. You feel obliged.
Well, once again, Dan, you just airing all your
Cheese galore.
Listen, I'm with Craig in that I don't understand a lot of this need for players, and not just in this situation, to rush to social media to apologise for a poor performance or whatever it may be. I don't get it. I would just say this is something for the new players and leave it at that. If you did not get along with Xabi Alonso, if you don't think he was getting the best out of you as a player, why go on social media and be two-faced about it? To tick a box, to tick somebody else's box at that, I don't get it.
We talked about this yesterday a little bit. I mean, I don't know how much, whether I'm summarising this wrong, Sid. Alonso clearly wouldn't have wanted the job to go badly. That's just a ridiculous thought.
Of course not.
Nobody wants that to happen. But having known what he knows now and over the last few months, do you think he is somewhat probably going to be pleased in the sense that, okay, it didn't work out, but I'm out of this scenario and I'm away from this and I can go and just take stock again?
100%. I think there will be hurt pride. I think there will be disappointment at how it's ended. I think he will feel that this was an opportunity maybe lost. But I think right now the feeling will be, better off out. And also with the assuredness and the certainty that there will be other clubs who want him now. That clubs will look at what he did in Germany and that will eclipse what's happened in this brief spell at Real Madrid. That clubs all the way through the Premier League, the best 4 or 5 clubs in the Premier League, will all be thinking, this is someone on the market that we would very much like to have here. So yeah, in that sense, absolutely, 100%.
Frank, I'll give you the last word on everything. What would you like to use it on?
Do you know what, for the next coach, I don't know for Arbeloa how long it's going to last, but for the next coach in Real Madrid, they have to ask a question before signing. Can I ask Mbappe and Vini Jr and Jude Bellingham to track back? Is that possible? And if they don't do that, can I put them on the bench or I will be sacked? That will be the next crucial question, because otherwise it will never work. And as I took the example of Paris Saint-Germain, we have the certainty that if not everybody is working, that doesn't work.
First one, João Cancelo, official now at Barcelona?
Yep, official, not the player that they wanted initially because they wanted a central defender, but given that he was an opportunity on the market and they think that maybe Jules Koundé can end up being at centre-back, so it bolsters their defence, if not precisely the profile they were after, a useful player.
Is that their business done? How many levers can they pull for this window?
I think that probably is their business done. And by the way, Real Madrid think that their business is done as well, or at least that's what they're briefing.
Well, will Arbeloa last till the end of the month? Sid, meanwhile, last bit, Conor Gallagher looks like he's going to Spurs. What happened at Atleti? Why didn't it work out?
He didn't really get the opportunities. I think to start with, we all thought he was very much a Simeone player because he was intense, because he was aggressive, which is exactly what Simeone wanted. But I think he never quite had that role of being able to control the midfield. And I think at times, in truth, I don't want to oversimplify this, but I think Simeone looked at his midfield options and just thought there are better players around than him in terms of controlling and running the game. I really hope it goes well because he worked really, really hard. He was very personable. He was very likeable. Everyone at Atletico Madrid liked him. But I just think in the end, it was just a sense of, well, the level of our midfielders means that he's just not a natural starter.
How much level you got left on your battery on your iPad, Sid?
Well, if I said that Conor Gallagher's level wasn't quite high enough, mine is way, way, way below there. It's probably got a little bit less energy than Conor Gallagher.
Because, of course, Fletcher's last game in charge, Michael Carrick now takes the reins at Old Trafford. That was confirmed today, beating off, apparently, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Frank is here with us.
That's like Jan racing the fish, isn't it, really?
Go on. There's some great analogies today.
Well, I mean, like that. It's not. You haven't beaten off Jurgen Klopp, is he? And Carlo Ancelotti. That's what I mean.
Solskjaer and Van Nistelrooy.
Good luck. I would have given it to Solskjaer. Only kidding. Good luck to him. But yeah, I mean that's the decision. We discussed it yesterday with Augie when he was on from Liverpool. You know, Barada and Wilcox now have to be sitting there just biting their nails, thinking they've got a couple of really tough games coming up.
Yep, City at the weekend, obviously.
City at the weekend, then. I think it's Arsenal, Liverpool. Anyway, it's one of the better teams.
Do you like the help Shaq has given you?
It's Arsenal.
Shaq's here.
I just want to see where you're going with this.
It's Arsenal. And then even Fulham and Spurs. I was like, but what I'm saying is, what we talked about yesterday was if they lose these 4 games and then you lose listen, it probably won't happen. But the way United have played with the injuries and the defence and all the changes, it could when you look at these. Although Spurs are no great shakes, you just never know. Then what do? They've got I was going to say they got the interim in charge, but they haven't called them interim, have they? They've just given, apparently there's no interim title, a bit like Arbeloa at Real
Head coach until end of season, which is what interim means, really.
Head coach. So they don't want to have another decision to make because it's all falling apart. So there's a lot of pressure on Michael Carrick to come in and get enough results to not make the people who are already looking stupid, if we're being honest, making the decisions, make them look more stupid because they're going to have to go and make a different one. He's a very level-headed guy, I'll give you that. He's got coaching experience. He's brought in Steve Holland, who was Gareth Southgate's assistant for England, so he's brought in an experienced assistant to try and help him. And I think one of the reasons Solskjaer apparently never got the job was because Carrick's more hands-on with the coaching. Solskjaer, when he was in charge, basically kind of did a manager's job and just left the coaching to Carrick and to Kieran McKenna, who's now the manager at Ipswich. And they wanted somebody now that was actually on the training field, a little bit more working with the players. And I believe that's why Carrick was chosen over Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Rooney was on holiday with Carrick last week, apparently, in the Bahamas together. He was asked if he would join the coaching staff. He said he definitely would if asked.
Who?
Wayne Rooney, he used to play for Manchester United.
And I'm presuming...
I'm just wondering what your opinion...
Michael said, well, I'll call you.
Well, there's been no answer. Would you appoint Rooney, someone who knows the club, DNA and all that sort of malarkey?
No, I think obviously Wayne Rooney's been a great player and is a huge name, but Wayne Rooney's foray into management recently has been an unmitigated disaster. So I don't really, apart from the fact we are just getting drowned in this ex-Man United stuff with this club. Yep. It seems that there is nobody else out there at the moment that can even lay a glove on some of these ex-Man United players. And it seems to me that's the way the club were thinking as well. When there was a headline in one of the papers last week, United are canvassing all these ex-players. And I thought, gee, my God, broaden your horizon. But anyway, that's the decision they've made. I think over the two, Solskjaer and Carrick, I think that's the lesser of two evils for me. But how it will go over the course between now and end of the season, let's be honest about it, nobody knows. Nobody has a clue.
And that's the thing. For as disastrous a season as Manchester United has had, they're still 3 points off Liverpool in the top 4. No, I don't see Manchester United finishing top 4. But suppose all of a sudden Michael Carrick gets enough of a tune out of this squad to have them threatening Liverpool.
Why would he be able to get a tune out of a squad that nobody else has?
Not that he has to get that much of a tune. It's not that much of a turnaround. It's a 3-point gap between them and Liverpool. They don't have to be playing incredible football. They just have to be playing marginally better than they have been now, and Liverpool be marginally worse than they have been. Both of those things can happen. So it turns around and gives Manchester United another decision to make if that were to happen. Listen, good luck to Michael Carrick. He has coaching experience, to your point. Kind of given Wayne Rooney being involved as a manager, I'm not sure he'd be that willing to be a coach, even at a club like Manchester United at this point. He's got the people around him that he wants. Certainly has proven himself, at least at Middlesbrough, to be a good manager. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. But I still don't think that this is a great United team, but it's not a great league.
Frank, should Manchester United fans be excited?
Well, they can get something special from Carrick, the spirit that he had when he was a player, and what he showed at starting coaching is somebody who has a character, and comparing to, let's say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was more talented player, more artistic. Carrick goes straight to the point, and maybe will turn some United players as warriors. And let's see how it works. It cannot get worse than what it is right now. So I don't want to wish him good luck, but I think he's the guy who can maybe do something a little bit better.
Why don't you want to wish him good luck, Frank?
I'm neutral. Well, because I have nothing for and against Manchester United. That's it.
Well, surely you want everyone good luck. You want everyone to succeed in life.
My friend, first of all, my friends. Then after me, maybe Michael Carrick, but I'm not sure about that yet.
Wow. Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig and Shaq are here in the studio. Frank LeBoeuf joins us as well. Have you ever joined a club with an interim manager, boys? Anybody?
No.
No?
Joined a club with an interim manager?
Yes? No? Frank?
Oh, you never give us time to answer.
What do you mean?
What?
Well, you're thinking I was going to go to Frank and you could always come back in with an answer. Otherwise, we'd be here all day waiting for you to...
So look at me, I've thought already.
You really haven't bailed me out today at all, have you? I was sat there when I was in my moment of need a couple of times. You just sat there.
You were close, so I thought, go ahead.
You sat there, po-faced, just po-faced.
All yours. Let's
wow. He's been next to him for too long. You've got
he's all happy Larry when he's on Football America, isn't he? Comes on this show, he's bread and butter, by the way.
Look who he's sat next to.
Well, that's
it's enough
point.
to bring anybody down.
Oh, fair enough.
Frank, interim manager?
No, not really, but I have a very good story about the when I signed for Marseille and my first training session, the coach came to welcome me. I tried to find his name, was a former Yugoslavian guy, trained Nantes and after Marseille, he would maybe come back to me. He said hi to me we did a training session. He said, "Oh, I'm very pleased to have you." He said that we did the training session. At the end, he went. He shook my hand. He said, "Well, that was a real pleasure. I've just been sacked. Goodbye." What a beginning with Marseille.
And you think I'm a downer on things?
Well, that was a good story.
No,
Ivic.
what I
It
mean
was
is-
Ivic. I think it was. It was Ivic. I think.
Okay, all right,
name
good.
was.
Ivic.
The coach.
The coach.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, you're blaming me for bringing him down. You know,
Yes,
like,
yeah.
he shakes a guy's hand, he gets a sack.
Okay.
Yeah. You get my point?
No, not really.
Well, you're not that bright. That's why.
Not really.
Are you sure it was just a liver transplant you had? You didn't take like part of that brain out, as small as it was.
Boy.
I'm feeling good, by the way. Frank,
Lively.
for the panel, do you think the locker room at Real Madrid is devoid of senior leadership like Cruz or Modric or Nacho to tell the players to put aside their differences for the good of the team?
I don't know if it would work. Maybe they would need somebody, who can create that togetherness and the chemistry that the player they need and the understanding that they need to work together, and that's the main thing. You know, when they had Ronaldo, they had that example of the player who didn't track back. It was the big star, but the players and the coach knew and were working together. And the example of Kroos, Benzema dedicated his football for Ronaldo, and when he left, he took over. Modric, of course, they knew exactly what was the meaning of playing together and sacrificing to the others and to the big star. Nowadays, it doesn't work like that. And I don't know if even a guy like Kroos or Modric will be able to explain to the players how it works, because I'm not sure they're going to listen.
No, they do have those players. They got Militao, they got Rudiger, they got Dani Carvajal, who's been there and seen it and done it all, and he is a very respected guy. And you've got Thibaut Courtois, one of the best in the world, goalkeeper.
Maybe they've tried.
I mean, I wouldn't. Tchouameni and Camavinga, they're not youngsters anymore. They've been around, but I wouldn't consider them experienced pros. You know, people would respect Kylian Mbappe. People should respect Jude Bellingham, I would suggest. But like say Dani Carvajal, he knows that club. He's been in that dressing room for a long time. He's not a shy character. You see him on the touchlines when he's not playing. He's out there getting involved. So they've got senior players that others should be able to listen to. Younger people like Mastantuono and Güler and Gonzalo Garcia and all these sort of younger guys. And people should be telling Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo or whoever it is that's not pulling their weight. Hey, you need. Listen.
Yeah, but sometimes you can tell people over and over again,
I can't see
don't
Vinicius
stress, it's
listening
all
like
right,
that.
it's only highlights, and yet you still kind of...
That's when you got to lay the hammer down.
Right. I don't
In some sense, not condoning. I'm just saying, maybe a little bit more hands-on. You're gonna do it.
Why do you have to sound like Muttley when you do it?
We had boys in the Scotland team who you'd do that to you 5 minutes before. You know when the old bell, I don't know what it goes, the whistle of the bell goes.
Yeah.
We had a couple of maniacs running around shaking people. You'd be like just getting your sock done or your shin pad done, and next thing you know, somebody's whacking you in the head.
I try to remember if nowadays there were players who tried to not track back when they lost the ball, were lazy and thought that the other will do the work for them. I don't remember that. Big players like Gianfranco Zola, like Zinedine Zidane that I play with, but even before, I don't remember them doing that, because they would have done that, as Craig just showed to the world, we'll have some words and other things in the dressing room half time. They say, "Oh man, what are you doing? You think I'm going to run for you if you don't make any effort for us?" And grab him like that and make sure that the guy wakes up. So it's generational for me. That's a new generation of some players who allow themselves to do what they want. Looks like society at that point.
Ginola didn't track back, but you put.
Don't use that word in front of Frank.
Yeah, never mind.
Why?
Never mind. But you have.
Who's that? Who's that?
No, nobody. You know.
Well, you don't have to be the big guy in the dressing room. Frank will tell you this. if people weren't pulling their weight at Chelsea, I'm not suggesting he would win the fight, but Dennis Wise was going to have a fight with you.
Right.
It was going to be a...
But you can't imagine,
Yeah.
you can't imagine Fran Garcia calling anyone out.
No, but I can imagine Danny Carvajal doing it.
Yeah, but he
And being
hasn't played for
respected.
months, has he?
I mean, he's about your size.
Danny Carvajal?
Yeah, but I reckon he'd beat you up.
Well, that's not difficult, is it? I don't think that's...
I could tell him where the first place to hit you.
Yeah, a
I'll
good
give
punch on the liver. Yeah, that would be nice.
Right, clip that off. HR, thank you.
Save that for a rainy day.
Yes, put that in my pocket. Craig, who wins the Premier... And that.
There's a lot of people, I don't know why, there's a lot of people want to do damage to you.
Well, you and Frank.
I mean,
Craig, who ends the Premier League season with more goals? Gyökeres, Marino or Havertz? That's a bit harsh.
well, Gyökeres is a top scorer at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
you know, Gyökeres.
This is just the Spurs fan picked that one. You know what he's like.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he's got to find some sort of negative with Arsenal
He's having a hard
because
time.
his Tottenham team.
Yeah, he's having a hard time now.
Is Xavi more suited, Xhaka, to coaching Spurs and take them upwards like Leverkusen?
I can't even watch the games anymore when he comes up.
Say again?
Producer Mike,
All right.
it's just too negative.
He's
Nobody's interested in Spurs. You know when the people just don't get it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Tottenham.
Yeah,
Who
we have the same discussions every morning. Let's talk about Xavi Simons. No.
Yeah. Let's talk about. Shall we? Thomas Frank. What does this mean for Thomas Frank? No.
Is Xavi more...
Ricky Van de Ven. No.
Right, Xhaka, to the
Yeah,
question. Do you remember what the question was?
Is
Is he more suited to coaching someone like Spurs than Liverpool?
because of his experience at Leverkusen?
Yes.
No, I prefer to see him at Liverpool. Competing.
It's like Sid was saying, you don't feel his stock has been that damaged
No, it's
because
not.
it's Real Madrid.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Leverkusen, he was having the players pressing and high intensity, and Liverpool are built for that. They're just not doing it this season.
Would you sack Slot now and bring it in?
No. I wouldn't. So don't be saying stupid stuff.
When I said that last year,
What did you say?
you laughed at me.
What?
Real Madrid
You
sacked.
said a lot, Shaq, that I laughed. Well, that doesn't narrow it down.
Never mind, carry on.
You're laughing at.
Nothing.
You're laughing at yourself again.
Has Eddie Howe taken Newcastle as far as he can, Xhaka? And should he target a bigger club or the England job after the World Cup?
Has he taken Newcastle as far
So has he done-
bigger club?
Has he outgrown Newcastle, I suppose, is what this is saying?
I don't know. I don't think he's.
Well, they might get in the European places this year.
I don't think he's outgrown Newcastle to
Right.
that point. Newcastle have their issues around their spending that they're trying to address. As long as they kind of figure that out, I don't see why they don't continue to push on. Not even 12 months gone, Newcastle win their first title, first trophy in God knows how long.
Yeah, all right.
Don't cry. What player outcasted by Amorim and sent on loan has the most potential to return to Manchester United and change the narrative, Craig? Hoyland, Rashford, Onana or Sancho?
Well, we can rule the last two out. Anana's chucking them in, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Sancho, bit part at Villa. Very much bit part.
I've crossed him off.
The answer really should be Marcus Rashford. And probably is, but that's an attitude
Right.
issue, which has never been the case for Hoyland. His attitude's been great. He just had a tough time at United. I mean, I would have to say Rashford.
Final question, Frank. Seeing that club legends are eager to coach their former clubs, would you ever offer yourself to Chelsea if the opportunity arose?
Yes. That I would change my life if it was the case. But I will make sure it's not only for 7 months. So I will make people work around me and talk to the players before. Well, if it's possible, but yes, I will love to get that job. Yeah,
Because
for Chelsea,
of
yes.
your love of Chelsea, yes?
Yeah, because it's my club. It's my club for life. You know, I won 9 titles in 5 years with Chelsea
Okay.
and France while I was playing for Chelsea. So it says a lot. You know.
So you would
changed
do it.
my life.
You would do it obviously then for free because of the love that you have.
Even though the fans hate him now.
Of course, just the rent of the flat, as you say in England,
yes.
for my time being there.
I'd love him to get the job, and then, you know, every time they had a bad result, we could just absolutely smash him. Bit like we do anyway, you know.
Would you have Craig as your assistant?
No.
Obviously another Chelsea legend.
Kit man.
Good luck with that.
Oh, yes, I would put him on the bench to make sure the fans against throw him something, you know, that, to be unhappy for 10 years that he was saying bad stuff to Chelsea.
I'd be the conduit between Frank and the players.
Really?
Like a smooth transition.
I think, yeah, another punch. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Shaka, where would you coach? Out of everywhere.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Dwight rang you up and said, come and be the goalkeeping coach, would you do it?
For free?
Well, Frank's doing it for free.
I'll do it for
Holiday every month.
For flights and my flat. I'll do it.
Wow.
You just think back there, perfect for the carnival.
Was next
Your
month.
feathers on.
Next month.
Was next month.
You getting feathered up? Are you? You're too old for all that, aren't you? I mean, you're knocking on a bit. You can't be doing that.
You just wait.
There we go. That is it. That brings us to the end of today's show. For more serious analysis, join us tomorrow as we'll be looking back at Arsenal against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup.